everyone. I'm so glad you came to join me today in my sewing room. I have something to kind of share with you. Our Modern Quilt Guild here in Edmonton has asked me and 8 other guild members to design blocks for a quilt for them. And they haven't decided whether it's going to be a wall hanger or if they want to make a quilt out of it or whatever. So I decided, okay, I need to know first off how big they want the block, which was 12.5 inches unfinished. And then, you know, they kind of let us know that this is what we're going to do and all the rest of this. So I go up first in the guild here. So I wanted to get this video up so you guys could see what I was doing with the guild. And it's kind of, we do some fun things in that guild. So anyways, so I decided, okay, I'm going to make a modern basket weave. And this is such a simple block. This is the block. Now, they said the block has to be 12.5 inches square. And I decided, okay, I can make 3 blocks of this and make it 12.5 inches square. So I decided to take a little bit of creative license with what I was going to do. But I decided my forte is scrap busting, so I wanted to share this with you. So here we go. This is 4.5, but just, okay, let me get a ruler, okay? We'll give you exactly the measurement. They'll be in the show notes below, and they'll be in the show notes for both 4.5 inch tall and 3.5 inch tall. So here we go. And so this square now, these 2 squares are the same size, this one and this one. They might not look the same size, but this one is 3.5 and this is 3.5. And now this piece here is going to be 7 inches. Now 3.5 and 3.5 is 6.5 inches, plus 7 inches is it's 13. No, 3.5 and 3.5 is 6.5. Plus 7, wait a minute. Okay, we're going to do a video on quilt math. But anyways, this does finish at 12.5 by 4.5 high. So I know you're sitting there like, wow, she designed a block, she doesn't even know what it is. But that's okay, that's okay. We'll explain the quilting math. So what I'm going to do is I flip-flop these around, and they have different grays in them, and there's, you know, there's greens and purples. That's what I decided to pick my palette out of, greens and purples. So basically it's, I press them all open because they lie flatter and none of the seams match up. Again, I just don't want to be matching up seams. So essentially this is like flip it over and sew it and then flip on the next one. And I'll quickly do that for you. You probably don't need a close-up of this. You'll see this. And you just want to make sure that those seams below on the bottom, they stay closed. And yeah. They go together very quickly into a 12.5 inch unfinished block. And they're easier to sew if you do 2 at a time, but that's okay. Now, I'm going to take this and I'm going to add it on here. So I've got good definition in these colors between the greens and the purple, so that works. And you just keep mixing them up. Okay, so I came up with 2 different layouts, and I'm very anxious to show them to you. And I have built lots of, I don't know if you can see this pile ahead of me here, but you can see there's lots of blocks. So not being pressed, I'm just pressing to go out, right? Now with my fingernail. That's the block. Very quick, very fast. And when you put them in columns, right, the gray makes the weave go up and down like this. The gray colors, and then the green and purples make the weave go this way. So it does look like a modern, very modern basket weave quilt. Now I have a whole stack of these to make other basket weave blankets with. And I thought, well, I want to show you what I did with the other quilt tops. So here is the one quilt I made with the smaller scale blocks. Now I'm going to put those cutting instructions for you in the show notes, but this is what a green and purple quilt looked like. And you can see how the gray starts to go, it starts to create lines, and the purple and the green, they start to go the warp and the weft of a basket weave. So here we go. This is what it looks like. So guys, what do you think of this? This actually makes an oversized baby quilt, and I just use bits and bobs and scraps, and a few fat quarters were harmed in the making of these quilts I'm going to show you. And there was some yardage. Now with this one, I kept all the gray the same. So it's all that swirling gray that goes through. But I put in Aboriginal Australian prints. I put in stuff that had been sitting around here far too long. And there's dragonflies and flowers and turtles and you name it, it's in here. We even have some K Facet in here. I don't know if you recognize this print here, but it's been sitting in my scrap box for a while. So the whole idea behind this is to make it bright and happy. So let me show you the other quilt I made. Now this is a broken herringbone layout. And if you're interested in doing a broken herringbone layout, let us know. I can give you just very quick instructions here, but it's all based on Y seams and partial seams. So this comes out beautifully. This is big. This is big because I did 6 stratas across, so it actually becomes almost a queen size quilt. Or I can make 2 twin size quilts that are a little bit smaller. But I have changed up my grays in this because I decided, okay, we're going to add more color, more fun. So the grays are all over the place in tone and in value. I've added some fun batiks in here that were sitting around in my stash. And things that I weren't really too sure of how to use, like the dragonfly fabric here. This is part of the dragonfly wing. Let me center it. It's gorgeous, but is it green? Is it purple? We're not sure, but it's beautifully embossed on here. And then there were some other fun prints in here too. So I decided, okay, and we have this print here, this green. I don't know, that's kind of a Civil War print. And then we had some of this. It was a large scale. It had purples and greens with a black background. So I thought that one was kind of fun to throw in too. So very quickly, I'm going to show you how to do a broken herringbone layout. Now, you always start a broken herringbone the same way. You start either right or left, but all of them have to be laid out the same way. And then you just put them like this, and you do partial seaming, right? So you start at the bottom, like you would start at the bottom of this, and then you would lay this out, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this, right? So you're creating, but you're not going to cut off the edges like you would in a French braid. You're actually going to leave a 1/4 inch opening that you would, let's say if you were hand quilting it, you would leave that opening. So now when you sew these braids together, you run along here, pivot, 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 and stitch. If you want us to show you how to do the broken herringbone layout, please put that in the comments below. We'd be happy to show you how to do that on a table runner or something. It makes great use of your scraps. And there's a cute way of doing this where you do, instead of cutting your sides square, you sew them together and then make you cut it through all the way up and down. And then you sew your top to your bottom and you cut that across. So that's a lot of fun how to do all that. But anyways, we'd be happy to show you that. I want you to have an absolutely blissful week ahead. And I hope you have a great time in your sewing room and managing your scraps. This was so much fun, this project to do for our guild. I couldn't wait to share it with you and show you a quilted quilt top, but you know, you get the idea. So let us know what you want. We'd be more than happy to try and do that for you. I have other ideas in the mix while we're waiting for my black 301A to come back from the home repair thing. It was starting having some issues and with stitch quality and that, so we decided, well, we better take it in for its yearly checkup, and we're hoping that's all it is, you know, just needs a yearly checkup. This one does not, it sews great this way, it does not sew this way. It's not happy sewing this way. So we can't really do any free motion quilting with this machine. So I'm sorry, we made a promise and we simply cannot keep that promise right now. When we get the other one back, and if it's working good, we'll show you more free motion quilting at that point. But, so what do you think of this blog? Let me know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Anyways, you have a great week. Okay, bye! If you have questions about what you saw in this video, or you have ideas for content or something you want to see us do, please put those comments in the description below. But also, while you're there, like, share, and subscribe with your friends. That would really help us out. Okay, I want to thank you and have a great day.